So welcome to another amazing episode with Heart and Heaven. And as we all know, this is a safe space where faith meets reality and an open heart meets a safe haven. Wow, so it has been an amazing journey so far. I'm having 4 episodes and it has been a blessing to a lot of people. I want to really hear your testimonies and share your opinions to the topics we've treated so far, and just share it to other people. Let's get to hear what people talk. Let other people be a blessing, be part of what God is doing so far. So today we'll be talking about something really, really important, because it's something everybody is facing, or something everyone is going through or has gone through. We'll be talking about trusting God's plan when life feels uncertain. What's your take on the plan of God? What do you really think the plan of God for your life is? Do you really believe that the plan God has for us are for good and not of evil? Do you really believe that God really is working on something big and better for us? That has been a great issue where people tend to doubt themselves, tend to doubt what God is saying, and they find it difficult to trust God's plan. They find it difficult to wait for God to actually bring the plans in. So a lot of people see that as a waiting room. So I will also target like a waiting process, because trusting God is you waiting on God to definitely work on that plan, to bring out the plan, and let's work on it. So it's a waiting process, it's a waiting room. And now waiting room is not easy, because you get to meet a lot of discouragement, a lot of people saying a lot of things that will actually discourage you from meeting, or from planning what God is saying, or from listening to what God is saying. So waiting on God can be tough, especially when you have people that will make it feel uncertain. And then there are situations you find yourself, you will definitely be like, no, I'm not sure this is what God actually has for me. Let me just go do my thing. So waiting can be tough, because those days are really hard. Things might not be right, things might not be coming, people might be talking, a lot of pressure from different places, different environment, different people. But why does God make us wait? It's part of God's plan. You have to be patient enough for Him to give you the best. You can't just rush into things and expect better results. You take your time to look well, you take your time to search, you take your time to think and pray through whatsoever season you are in, and then you expect the best out of it. So God makes you to wait because it's actually part of His plan. He wants to teach you patience. He wants to teach you self-control. He wants to teach you kindness out of it. Will you still maintain good character when you're waiting? You can go as far as being broke to the point that you don't have money for a taxi, or you don't have money for bike or anything. Will you trek and still smile to someone when you get to see your friend? Will you still smile? Will you still be happy? Will you still be joyful? Will you still talk nicely to people? Or you get rude because you're in a situation where you can't afford to eat, you can't afford to buy what you wanted. So God is actually teaching you patience. So it's part of His plan. And then He says, if He gives you that particular thing, that particular time, will you misuse it? Will you use it well? Will you use it to disrespect Him? Will you use it to disrespect people? So God is teaching you patience because He's teaching you waiting because He wants you to be patient. He wants you to learn patience. He wants you to learn love. And that's one of the reasons why God is teaching you how to wait on Him, how to trust His plan. And then the Bible examples of waiting, we talk about Sarah. Sarah in the Bible is someone that waited on God for a child, to the point that when the angel came to meet her, and then she laughed. Why? Because she didn't actually believe that she would actually conceive. But that waiting period, she taught herself to be encouraged, to be a loving person, because she can't just accept anybody into her house in that period of time. But she stood her ground. She cooked for God. She cooked for Jesus when He came. But when you get to meet that kind of character, you get to see that it took a lot for a woman who is praying to God for a child, to a woman who they've called barren. So she was not, you don't know what she was expecting at that point. Are these people coming to mock me? Are these people coming to say things? But God, at the end of the day, helped her. God at the end of the day gave her what she asked for. We see Joseph in the Bible. Joseph was actually thrown, he was sold out. But that process, God was making him, God was just taking him places. God said, just wait. It can be like a struggle. Joseph went through a lot of struggles. He went through hardship. But at the end of the day, we saw that he landed in a very nice palace. He worked as a palace. He turned into a prime minister. Or so, like, you can see, like, God's plan, it can take time. It can be like, it can look like a desert. But at the end of the day, there's water at the end of the tunnel. So God has good plans. When he said his plans for us are good, they are really and truly good. His plans are really good. He loves us so much that he won't let us suffer. He won't let us see shame. So when he tells us, calm down, wait, we should relax and wait. But we try to doubt him sometimes. Yeah, I get we try to doubt God because it's slow. But there's always something better at the end of the day. We see even Jesus at some time, it took time. Even when they were persecuting him, he died. He still believed that God has a better plan for his children. Him coming to die for us is a fulfillment of a prophecy. But before that prophecy was fulfilled, God's plan was for him to come and die for us sinners. And then he did, but it took time. He has to go through process like grooming. God had to groom him to be that person that will will I be able to do this? He has given us his son, and then Christ came, he had to teach us all those things. Christ is ready, but for that prophecy to be fulfilled, he had to go through a lot of process. He had to go through a lot of grooming. There was a point where Jesus Christ, we didn't hear about him till some certain age. That place, God had to teach him God had to break him. Even when he was on a 40 nights, 40 days fast, day and night, it's a process. God was teaching him how to love people with hunger. God was teaching him how to love people and also stand in the gap for people, be a praying man for people. That's a whole lot of process. I don't know what God was waiting for, but that whole thing was. So these are the people you find in the Bible that had like, they waited on God. They trusted God's plan. And then how to trust God's timing. We need to trust God's timing. We shouldn't just rush God into, want to rush God. You can't rush God actually. You're just rushing yourself. And then you might end up making a lot of mistakes. You might end up making wrong decisions. So remember God's character. Focus on growth. This period of waiting, focus on growing yourself. You can get books, get messages, listen to them. Just grow your character, grow yourself into being a better person, being a better version of you, being a better and nicer person. Just grow yourself. You get grow your spiritual life. Pray, always study. Even your schoolwork, you can have more time for yourself, and then just leave the rest for God to handle. Stay active in your waiting. Don't just sit around, cry. That's when you allow the devil to bring in depression and all. Stay active. Speak to people about it. Hear from their own perspective. And then you get to see that God will use them, or God will send the answer you're looking for through people. So stay active in your waiting process. And I really hope that this episode has blessed you. And thank you for listening to me. Thank you for having an amazing time with me. I will see you in my next episode. Stay tuned. Don't forget to always like, share, and comment your opinions and your testimony. I'll see you next time.